back, everyone. This is Sorla Chance again. Today we are here not with another opening of a figure to add to this collection. We are actually here today to decide which figures we are removing. It is 2026. We are all poor and struggling, and the fact is, the older I get, the more I realize that certain figures I may have gotten a long time ago or for one reason or another don't bring me the same joy anymore. I actually think it's really important for figure collectors to remember to curate their collections over time. It's really easy to have the nostalgia of when you bought figures and think you need to keep them forever. But I realize over time that figures look nicer, they look different characters get released, and certain ones just don't bring me the same excitement and joy as when I first bought them. So in order to keep my collection as a whole looking good with 9 whole details of figures, I need to curate this constantly. And we all need money. There is an anime flea market right here in Raleigh every year. I actually did this same sort of video a year and a half ago at the last anime flea market. The market is in 2 weeks, so we need to go ahead and start getting everything ready because I have to price it and organize it and figure out my display for this market. We're going to be selling a bunch of video games and other stuff like that at this market. I actually had a video not that long ago about all of my broken figures, so you may already recognize some of these figures from that video. Some that were broken or I was talking about not looking good anymore are definitely the same ones I'm probably getting rid of today. I do it about once a year at this anime flea market. I waited about a year and a half for this one, so let's just go ahead. Let me show you guys what I decided to get rid of before we head over to that market in 2 weeks. And I'm gonna have to get a bunch ready before then. So first off here, I'm gonna start with this one because this is actually the reason that I'm trying to sell all of these figures to get some money. Once I got this Lightning, I had this weird moment where I loved this Good Smile Lightning so much that I just wanted the other Good Smile figures to be next to her. I'd actually already thought before about getting rid of Gladio because I really don't like him much as a character, but I got him a long time ago when the game was relevant. And if you know me, you know that 15 is actually kind of one of my least favorite Final Fantasies, so it doesn't make sense that I have so many 15 figures in the shelf. So this sexy Gladio right here, abs and everything, unfortunately I am going to get rid of him. One thing we're doing a lot of today is I'm getting rid of basically all of my play arts and a lot of my ligmented figures. A lot of the times, play arts were figures I wanted just because there was the only way to have certain Final Fantasy characters. I can't deny that it makes me a little sad that I'm getting rid of this Aranea right here. I absolutely love Aranea. I think she's the best part of Final Fantasy 15. But in the end, she just stands there. It's really hard to make someone like this look good when there's no posability. This stand barely holds her up. I'm not even using stands for the rest of these. And so I just think it's time that I don't really have things that just stand there anymore. Lightning looks so dynamic and so good. Every single part of her, even her face, has more detail. In my collection, the way I want it to look now has changed. And yeah, like I said, 15 is kind of just my least favorite Final Fantasy, so why am I so worried? Now, what I said my goal is in selling these figures is that I really want to make money off of them as well, right? It's not just about curating the collection. I need some cash. However, what I hope to do is get the Good Smile of Noctis and then have money left over for myself after this market. Because Good Smile Noctis, I could definitely be able to afford, and he would look amazing in here. I'm also just a little excited in general to be making room for more figures that do look good here. Right away, this shelf is kind of barren, so we're going to have to move some things around once we're done for sure. Right above the Final Fantasy 15 shelf, actually, I have one more that I'm getting rid of here. It is this Nargacuga from Monster Hunter. I talked about how the fact that he's not broken, but he just has these pieces that kind of just keep falling off. They just don't stick in properly. He always, to me, just looks like he's laying down. I haven't been able to ever get him to look any better than just this laying down pose. Sure, he has this log to stand on, but I'm just tired of it, and there is a different Nargacuga figure that matches the Rathalos and Nargigante figure that I have. So I kind of just, again, hope that I could end up getting that other Nargacuga figure at some point, because this one is just no longer giving. He just feels like he's laying down at the bottom of the shelf, and I barely even notice him compared to those grand monsters behind him. So unfortunately, Nargacuga is out here. And now for this figure shelf on the very bottom here, I definitely don't think I need all of these ligmented figures anymore. So I have a whole bunch of Cloud figures in a different shelf. This is the Crisis Core Play Arts figure. And again, he's kind of just messed up a little bit. His hair is a tiny bit messed up, and all he does is stand there. He's kind of wobbly and doesn't have a stand, so he just falls down all the time on me. And again, just no longer really brings me joy to see these just uncolorful figures just kind of standing there. So this is a little bit of a nice one, so I'm hoping I can get a half decent price for it. It's in decent condition, but without a stand or a box. We'll see what happens with it. Now, some of these figures I am planning on keeping, like Renoa, Squall, and I actually feel like at least one of my Lightnings, if not both of them. I'm going to decide on that later, but I do kind of want to keep them since I don't have designs of either of these Lightnings, especially 13-2 Lightning. She does look in a little bit of a dynamic pose, so I'm going to keep a couple of these for now, but hope here. He barely holds together. He falls down all the time. Last video I had, I actually talked about how I decided not to sell this one. It's one of the first 13 ones I ever got. I have like a very vivid memory when I started collecting of getting him. But again, he just stands there. He doesn't look great anymore. And I can love Final Fantasy 13 without having a figure of a character that I love. So again, if it doesn't really look exciting anymore compared to the rest of my figures, he's going to go. Last one on the shelf that I'm sure of is, again, just this Selfie. She's old. She has her original stand, but I just think it's kind of time for her to retire for all the exact same reasons I've been talking about. This shelf is rather hard to film, but again, over time, I do want to keep Orin. Oh, everything is falling apart while I do this. I do want to keep Orin in the shelf because I just feel like I love Orin and there's no other way to have him. But again, this Pain really is just doing a lot of standing here. Her face doesn't look that detailed anymore. And if I don't have the whole YRP, she doesn't feel that exciting. And like I said, I don't plan getting play arts anymore. So I'll never have the full YRP. Fun fact, this was actually missing for years. My brother-in-law finally found it. So thank you for adding value to the figure I'm finally selling by finding that shelf. Just for half a second, I actually wanted to talk about this shelf. It's my near shelf and how I'm not getting rid of any of these figures. They may all be ligmented, and I talk about not being ligmented anymore, but a lot of these characters you just can't get this way anymore, and it's a little hard to see, but I do feel like I really love this shelf. It feels very full. It feels like it has every character from Nier, so I'm not getting rid of these ones. It's just a good example of why, even though I say I'm done with ligmented, sometimes I feel they're worthy to keep. I find that most of the bring arts look a little better than play arts, and I do think they're worth keeping. I realize since I have a much better, bigger version of Corrin now, the only reason I ever had this Corrin and his corresponding Yajirobe was solely because I didn't have another version. I don't really like their big red stands. They're really small, and I feel like having too many small figures can really make a shelf look too cluttered, so we're getting rid of Corrin. And let's be honest, no one has ever cared about Yajirobe once in their entire life. If you have cared about Yajirobe, let me know in the comments, because I don't believe that you exist. Again, really fast, I felt the need to point this out, that I'm not getting rid of these Neo The World Ends With You bring arts. Again, I think bring arts can look a lot more dynamic. I really love the way they fill out this The World Ends With You shelf. And again, it is the only way to have some of these characters. Sometimes that's a deciding factor, sometimes it's not. But this time, again, in the fashion of bring arts specifically, I've decided to keep these World Ends With You figures. Now, this one might seem crazy to some of you because she does look absolutely amazing. But as I mentioned in my previous broken figures and things that I don't like anymore video, this figure of Nelliel to Ottersfack is 100% a bootleg. It's one of the reasons that she won't ever hold this. I do feel weird about it. I bought this because Nelliel is one of my husband's absolute favorite figures of all time, but I got his approval. One of his favorite characters of all time. But I did get his approval that we can go ahead and sell this. We both kind of agreed after I filmed my last video that since we know it is bootleg, this figure just doesn't give much joy anymore since we know it's bootleg. So it's sexy enough. I think someone will definitely buy it. I will be forthcoming about the fact that I know it's bootleg if anybody asks. So she's sexy, but I think she could deserve a pretty penny. And since I know it's bootleg, again, doesn't bring me joy anymore. I realize there's a reason I've been keeping her on the bottom shelf for so long, even though she's so gorgeous. I kind of hate that I let that bother me. But this is the first time I bought a figure that's supposed to be this nice and this big that is bootleg. So unfortunately, Nelliel is going to go. And Nelliel did also originally come with this smaller version of herself. And so that one will be going as well. Oddly enough, one thing I am going to keep is this Grimjow. He is hideous and his paint job is terrible. He might be bootleg too because I don't know what these other dots are from. But I got this signed by David Vincent in one of the first cons I ever went to. It's one of my very first figures. I bought the figure just so he could sign it. There's just a certain level of nostalgia behind that one, so I'll keep it in the front on a bottom shelf for the rest of my life. Now, this one was a rather hard decision for me, actually, because I really have never liked how this Eric figure looks from Dragon Quest XI. But I feel weird getting rid of Serena and Veronica. Specifically, Veronica is one of my favorite characters, probably my favorite character in all of Dragon Quest XI. And I think they do look good as Bring Arts. However, Eric, I feel like has never looked good as a Bring Arts. So we are going to make this decision to get rid of Eric. You can kind of see, I just feel like he just feels weird. This is the best pose I feel like I could get him in. So even though this one is a Bring Arts, and I do have other characters in the series, I just feel like every time I look at this one, it reminds me that it's not posed very well. I'm even keeping these Figmas back here. Again, Dark Pit and Lucina, no other way to have figures of them. So I'm deciding to keep those, but we're getting rid of Eric. And Eric originally did come with this Draki and this treasure chest. Why he didn't come with this slime, I'll have no idea, story-wise. But so, all of these are leaving as well. And so just most of these old play arts, some of these do kind of make me upset that I'm selling. But, again, I just feel like he stands there. Face isn't very nice anymore. Christmas Sora is the exact same way. And his Keyblade actually broke, so he really looks just kind of lame, just chilling there. But getting rid of this very old Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora play arts. These original play arts look a lot like toys that are just sold in Target nowadays. It's funny to think that back when I started collecting in 2010, I would argue that these are definitely not toys. And now I feel like all they look like to me is just some cheap toy of Sora. So again, I'm sad that I'm getting rid of these kind of almost vintage Kingdom Hearts figures, but it doesn't bring me excitement to look at just because it's old. We're doing the same thing with Kairi. This one makes me especially sad just since the recent passing of Hedon Panettiere. So I really hate that I'm getting rid of this in a way. But again, they just don't look that nice anymore. I do have figure of Kingdom Hearts 3 Kairi. It's in no way do I like Kingdom Hearts any less because I don't care about these anymore. I wouldn't even say I don't care about them anymore. I think that I just want to perfect my collection, make it look nice, and make a little bit of money because, again, what's more important in the long run of my life right now is not just hoarding every single item. This Roxas, I think, is the one I'm the most upset about that I'm getting rid of today, other than the 15 figures, or possibly Nelliel. It's just an inside joke. My husband spoiled that he got this for me for Christmas years ago, and So we just joke about it all the time that, you know, oh, he spoiled my Roxas figure. But I just got a Roxas figure. I did my unboxing just about a week ago of my new Roxas Form-ism. And I compared it next to this, and I just don't like the way that this one looks in comparison anymore. So, just like my other old school play arts, Roxas leaves in town. The one old Kingdom Hearts play arts that I'm definitely keeping from the original saga is this Kingdom Hearts 2 Mickey. He doesn't look that great anymore either. Never has. He barely poses. He just holds this Keyblade. But this is actually the very first figure I ever owned in my entire life. My friend at the time in 2010 had this in his closet, told me he needed the money and he would sell it to me for whatever money I had in my wallet. I had $6 and he agreed. Ever since then, it has grown into the collection that you see today. And there's something about this, no matter how much I don't care about how it looks anymore, I cannot get rid of this since it was my first figure I ever had. Oh, there goes his Keyblade. Really fast here. This isn't much in the Pokemon shelf, but these are just a couple old Pokemon blind boxes that I opened. And they are really cool, but there's something about just small blind boxes. They start to look cluttery over time. So keeping a couple other ones like this Butterfree and this Pikachu, but I've decided that this Ho-Oh, this Absol, they've unfortunately got to go. One thing I actually find really exciting right now is seeing this empty space. Of course, it's a little sad, these figures that I'm getting rid of, but when I realize I have this much space, it just really excites me that I'm going to be able to organize everything and make it look a lot nicer. So sometime soon, I actually think that I'm going to go ahead and go on live, and y'all can just spend some time with me, like looking at all these spaces, rearranging everything, making it look a little bit nicer, since we have so many gaps now. Well, that is it for now. I think that's everything that I want to get rid of. Of course, it's always going to be even more upsetting when things don't sell, because then I feel really bad that I want to get rid of it. So after this, if none of this stuff ends up selling, I'll actually end up posting all of it on eBay. So if any of you want to look up if I have anything for sale, if you're watching this video a few weeks after it comes out, please go ahead and eBay, go to Sora LeChance, and see if any of it's still for sale. But for now, I have to go start pricing all of these things, and look out in the next 2 weeks for my video about selling all of it at the anime market. I'm going to try to do a vlog of the whole thing, everybody. So thank you again for coming. I'm Sora LeChance. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more about my figure collection. Check out when I start rearranging stuff or other unboxings of new figures that I get in as I add them to this collection now that I have a little bit more room again. Thanks y'all so much for coming today. This is Sora LeChance. Bye. If you liked this video today, remember to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, including different unboxings and video game playthroughs. Remember, this is Sora LeChance, and may your heart be your guiding key.